Foreign policy is now going to play a much more imposing role on everything we talk about for the rest of this course. Up until now, we've been a bunch of redneck farmers. Civil War industrializes us. We become bigger. Spanish-American War makes us militarize more. Now with rising imperialism, our eyes set overseas. Foreign policy becomes much more important. So here we go. Teddy's certainly not afraid to get into the foreign policy fight. Here we go. Open door policy. Secretary of State John Hay, an extremely good Secretary of State. Now you look at the best Secretaries of State, John Hay, John Quincy Adams, they go right up there, John Marshall. Open door policy. Here you got the United States and, of course, China. You got the actors who already got spheres of influence in China. Got the funny hat, Germany, John Bull. Looks like the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Here we got Japan, Russia, France. All a piece of the pie. So, what happened? Well, I hope I have a map here. I don't. Crap. What it is there's a map. There's a map where it has China all divided up into spheres of influence. They have their little sphere. Nobody else can trade there. They have their sphere. Nobody else can trade there. Britain has its sphere along the Yellow River. Nobody can trade there. Only Britain. Nobody can sell goods to those Chinese people, and the Chinese can only buy British goods there. Kind of like mercantilism within their own sphere. America and Germany come along, and they don't have spheres. They got crappy spheres. There's no spheres. All the good stuff's already been taken. So John Hay has this brilliant idea. Screw it. We're not going to have a sphere. We're good guys, China. We'll trade with everybody. Oh, we're not like big, bad old Europe. So we'll trade. Now, wouldn't you think these countries would be upset that we're rocking the boat? But hey, brand new Navy. So we can say, screw you. And Hay gets away with this, the open door policy. So this becomes the guiding principle for American policy in Asia for years to come, where we're open up to everybody and not going to colonize, kind of. Now, Boxer Rebellion is China. It's where the Chinese try to overthrow the rule of all these British, French, German, all these European players. The reason they're called boxers is their symbol was a closed fist. They will lose. And Europeans will continue exerting their dominance. So here are your notes, forced to pay for damages, leaves Chinese even more upset. This becomes incredibly important post-World War II. Once World War II ends and the rise of communist China comes directly from this anti-foreign feeling. So now we look at the progressive presidents and their foreign policy. It's pretty simple. You get just three of them. Teddy's the big stick. Big stick comes from the African proverb, speak softly but carry a big stick. His big stick being Great White Fleet. Dollar diplomacy, substituting dollars for bullets, getting American businesses to invest in foreign countries in exchange for them doing what America asks. And last but not least, you got Wilson saying, oh no, I'm going to do what's morally right. I'm not going to try to bribe them. I'm not going to try to invade them. And he will do both. So let's take a look at the foreign policy. John Hay, Secretary of State. Aggressive, stubborn, arrogant, and good. He's an excellent Secretary of State. Let's get some background first. You got the Sino-Japanese War had exposed the pathetic weakness of the Chinese government. Japan kicked their butt. Europeans maximize economic gain by gaining these spheres of influence I was telling you about. Here you got Japanese, Russian, excuse me, there's the Russian, there's the Japanese sphere of influence, German, they get the crappy one, Japan down here again, you got Manchuria up there, the yellow area being France, and Britain getting the orange Yellow River area. And you can, here's Hong Kong right there, which would be British. These pose a threat to Chinese territorial integrity. So it gained not only economic control and advantage, but political control also. Chinese trade accounted for only 2% of the U.S. foreign trade. However, Philippines showed how important it was to get their business because location, location, location. Philippines is right off the coast of China. So, allowing equal economic treatment to all was the best thing for the United States since we were late to arrive. We would have only gotten the crappy stuff. Britain was very concerned with increasing German aggressiveness in the Far East. Remember, they're the Johnny-come-latelys. They want their piece of the pie. In doing so, they're building a larger navy to work in the Far East. Of course, this would threaten Britain. Hay issues the open door. Receives very conditional responses on the open door. It was like asking who, at a dinner party, has thieving intentions. Hay boldly proclaims that all nations had accepted it unconditionally. The other nations would have to go along with it because what were they going to do? Go to war with us over it? So thus, all those spheres of influence, poof, vanish, and now free trade for America in all of those spheres of influence. So, points of the open door notes, within its sphere of influence, no power could exchange the established power. Equal treatment for trade of all nations and Chinese territorial integrity would be maintained. That, by the way, was not originally introduced, but that came after the Boxer Rebellion. So the Boxer Rebellion, here a cartoon on the Boxer Rebellion. Is this imperialism? No blow has been struck except for liberty and humanity, and none will be. William McKinley. What does the cartoonist think? Around 1900, strong anti-foreign feeling riots in Peking. Once it's all over, Europe demands reparations, and the United States would be given $25 million by China. This whole affair demonstrates the weakness of the Chinese government. So, number 18. How did the Boxer Uprising lead to an even greater European influence? Go ahead and click the video and answer the question.